On February 25, a Pakistani Christian woman named Saima Iqbal Messi was allegedly abducted, raped and forcibly converted to Islam. This took place in a town outside of Islamabad, when a man named Khalid Saadi and 3 friends grabbed Messi, holding her at gunpoint and threatening to kill her children, before taking her to an undisclosed location where she was intoxicated and raped. She was forced to marry Saadi, who continued to physically abuse and rape her like she was his property. Meanwhile, Messi's husband Naveed Iqbal desperately went to the authorities to look for her, but they suggested that perhaps his wife had eloped. After Naveed released a video on social media, the police managed to recover his wife. However, Saima describes the recovery just as painful as her abduction. She states that the police officials told her, "Your whole community will pay the price of the sin you committed, as once you are in Muslim faith, you cannot leave it." Another case from last month involved a 13-year-old girl, Sadaf Messi, who was also kidnapped by 3 men, forced to convert to Islam, and to marry her captor. Kidnapping, forced conversions, rape and forced marriages are unfortunately nothing new to Pakistan's Christian community. A Pakistani NGO in 2014 estimated that at least 700 Christian and 300 Hindu girls and young women suffered through this kind of abuse every single year. Christians and Hindus each make up approximately 2% of Pakistan's vastly Muslim majority. Despite this, they are treated as second-class citizens and subject to a disproportionate amount of violence and persecution. Another case has also taken place just recently, with a 15-year-old girl being abducted and forcibly converted to Islam in Faisalabad, Punjab. According to Open Doors, a Christian organization serving the persecuted church, Pakistan is ranked as the 5th worst country for Christians in 2019. Asia Bibi, a Christian mother who was falsely convicted for blasphemy against Islam and sentenced to death in 2010, was finally acquitted in October of last year. Despite being found innocent, millions of Pakistanis took to the streets in protests and riots, bringing the country to a standstill. Half a year later, Asia Bibi remains trapped in hiding in Pakistan, unable to flee to Canada, where her family has sought asylum. Many Pakistani minorities are often falsely accused of blasphemy, which faces the death penalty according to Pakistan's Sharia law. A mentally ill man, Stephen Messi, was arrested and charged with blasphemy just earlier this month. Other mentally disabled Christians have faced similar accusations, including Yaqub Bashir, Asif Stephen, Humayun Messi and even Rumsha Messi, an 11-year-old girl with Down syndrome. Just last week, a university professor was murdered by a student for supposedly blasphemy against Islam. Please pray for the persecuted Christians and other minorities in Pakistan. Pray for them to remain faithful and find strength in God. Pray for those of us who have never faced such persecution, that we would not forget about our persecuted brothers and sisters. And also pray for those who persecuted them, as Jesus tells us to do in Matthew 5:44. Pray that they would come into the light of our Lord and recognize the evil they commit against God when they harm a fellow human being. Pray for a change in Pakistan's blasphemy laws, and for the peace, freedom, and love of Jesus to reign over the Muslim world.